Okay. Hello, gamers. Oh, boy. Wowie wow. We are in. Thank you for the follows. So appreciative. Appreciate that. Hey guys. We're getting right into it today. Just boom. Just fucking no hesitation. Instantly just boom. Starting. Hop it in. Got Limbus open. Because we are doing a sequel to yesterday. First of all, fit check. Resource check. Okay, I'm building up a little bit of a resource. I've got like half an ID level. I got one full ID here. I got some thread. My lunacy is the same. The thread XP, you know, we're saving up a little bit for the savior of Burn, Yi Sang, obviously. You know, we have that going for us. We have a little bit of thread. I don't even think that's enough to up-tie, but we'll worry about that when we get there. Let's see. What is our agenda today? Right. We're going to be fixing these identities. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Alright. That's going to be interesting today. Alright. We spoke briefly, yes, well, briefly. We spoke yesterday about the actual problems and the unfortunate circumstance a few of these are in here. 230 for a 3-star? Oh, easy peasy. I'm actually going to write it? Yes, I'm actually going to write it today. Today we actually solidify what is going on. So before it was all just theory. Now we're actually going to sit down and we're going to actually write out. And there's also rules. We do actually have rules as well. Am I writing an ID maker? No. I don't know what ID maker is. I was just going to write it on a notepad. I am just right. What are the rules? Well, I'll get to the rules. But let me get the document up. Hold on. So we just make sure that this bitch is. All right. So here's my notepad. I have a list of every ID here, so I can write down everything about the characters. Obviously starting with this thing, but first, let's zoom in a little bit, because I want to make this text nice, and can I just zoom in like this? Yeah, I could just zoom in like this. First, fixing the weak IDs. Hello everyone, welcome. Rules of action. The rules are as follow. Rule number 1. Okay. We have to stay in theme with ProjectMoon's original goal. Okay? What does that mean? Number 1, the character has a gimmick. We need to stick to that gimmick. Okay? And the theme. We can't completely rework a character. That is not the point. Number 2. Second rule. We cannot add personal/unique status effects that are unobtainable by other IDs. What does this mean? So, this means we cannot create a buff that specifically works on LCCB Rodeo. If it doesn't have a solid theme, we'll get to there, because there are exceptions to the rules. Where's Liu and Gregor on the list? That's the thing. They're not on the list. Number 3. I want to say realistic, but that's not the correct word to use. It's gotta. It has to fix the ID, not make it OP. These are the 3 rules. We have to stay within the original theme of Project Moon's goal. The original theme of... let me reword this. Have to stay in theme with Project Moon's original concept. Say that. We cannot add personal unique status effects. I'm just going to add that because that's pretty much the thing. I'll say, like, example... Like, what's a word? Like, the I don't know, Blood Feast, for instance. I'll add Blood Feast. And it has to fix the ID, don't make it OP. Now, another thing. I guess the 4th rule. Does this count as uptie 5? Question mark. That is up to the chat to discern. Sewing target, that's great. I'll do sewing target. That's actually that's a much better example. This one is going to be left as question marks. Because theoretically, you could say that this is an uptie 5. But if I change the entire character to fit, does it really count as uptie 5? What about passive? Passives are affected as well. Everything is changed. Anything that we think needs to be changed is changed. I much prefer picture changes to base, aimed at uptie 4. Ooh. Okay, we'll leave it as a per. I'll write it down on the ID creator. I don't know, what is this ID creator? Oh, let me look at this. What is this ID creator? Is it easy to use? ID creator. Hell is this? ID creator. Oh, I see. So you can make IDs in here. Interesting. Okay. I don't know how easy this is. I kind of want it to be something just easy for me to do. I don't know how easy this is. Yo, what's up? I mean, this looks pretty simple. Oh, and you can do, like, effects and stuff, so you can, like, completely redo them. Okay, maybe we give this a go. Maybe I'll write them down and we can translate it. That's probably, like... You have to use it for keywords. Hello. I guess we can use this. I mean... Sure, we can use this. I mean, I could try. Let's try and use this. We'll keep this here, obviously. So, the first character I guess we're going to be talking about is also, let me do this. I think I can upload an image. Can I upload an image in here? A splash art. Is that it? Splash art? This is Yisang, so... There we go. Okay. Bit black, but that's alright. Evil. This is evil Yisang. Okay. Oh, but then I have to write out all the abilities. That might be annoying, but alright, whatever. Alright. So, first things first, I'm gonna write my list here, and then we can maybe translate it. Or I'll have someone else translate it. Anyway, 7 Yisang. So, let's discuss what the problems with 7 Yisang are. So, as we discussed yesterday, hello everyone. The problem with 7 Yisang, okay, is that he is a debuffer, and that is his only purpose. Now, this would not be a bad thing. However, he is part of a faction that also has another debuffer. His rupture is added on. It is not a mainstay. His gimmick is not rupture, even though he inflicts rupture count and rupture. His gimmick is paralysis. His gimmick is fragile. His gimmick is pierce fragility, specifically 3 pierce fragility. And he's got a good passive. You know, he's like the clasher, right? What do we need to fix? First, we need to make it so that he can do his gimmick in the best way possible. He is a 7 unit, so we're going to emphasize the fact that he does have rupture, but he is a debuffer. The first thing I probably would do is I would change this from head hit to just on hit. That's a potential. Give him some mint coffee. I guess we should look at the problematic skills. I think skill 2 is honestly perfectly fine the way it is. I think skill 2 does not need to be touched. Skill 2, exactly. It works. This is how his entire kit should work. Let me zoom in a bit more. Can I zoom in more? Ooh. Ooh, that doesn't look... Skill 3 has an interesting gimmick going on. But it is lacked by a few problems. First things first. He has no conditionals for coin power or clash. Now, you can argue, oh, it's his passive. Okay, fair enough. His passive is that an enemy has -2 clash power, which theoretically gives him a +5. It makes it a +5, right? The Great Limbus Library? I don't know what that is either. Also 0 offense level. I'm not going to be touching offense level. Alright, what is this? Hold on. I gotta open this. How many tabs I'm going to buy? By the way, this is the only time you'll ever see me have this many tabs open. Oh, I see. Okay. Yisang. How is this over? Does look kind of nice. This looks nice. I'll go back and forth. I like Wiki more personally, because this gives me this makes it look more professional. But I do see the appeal. You know, I don't want to use this ID thingy because that's annoying. I can already tell it's going to annoy me. Can I make this look a bit more like Limbus-y? Or no, it's going to look very modern. I mean, I guess it's easier for you guys to read. Can I zoom in on this to make it easier to read? Kinda. Here-ish, I guess. Limbus-y. Limbus-y. Yeah, freaks. Okay. So, I guess first things first. I think we do we do this. Skill 1. I keep the rupture. I think we keep his coin power. I think it's fine. It's a 12. Okay. We're going to keep that. We're going to keep the rupture as well, because it's just a little bit of... It gives him a little bit of rupture, whatever, right? But we're going to add a new effect. Okay? So let's do this. Let's instead now, it's going to be on hit, inflicts the 2 rupture. Okay? That's going to be the new one. So, and then the new thing, which is on head, they inflict 1 pierce fragility. So, now his skill 1, the coins are going to stay the same. So it's a 5 plus 7. So, what does this do? First of all, his rupture is now just guaranteed. It's just nice. Second, his on-head effect now does a same turn pierce fragility. Okay. That means that when he goes first, because he's probably going to go first, he's 5'8", he's very fast. He gets a little bit, he buffs a little bit of his team, and because of his passive... Oh, I should also write out, like, passive and something. Passive. I'm going to keep his passive the same. Do ego. God, I would be here forever if I had to do ego. Passive, I'm going to keep the same for now. So for now, his passive is simply Gluttony for Res slash gamble. That's going to stay the same. We might change that. Now, skill 2, I think stays the same. I think skill 2, honestly, is fine. It's got decent coin power. It's a 13 skill 2, -2 from the clash power. It's a gluttony skill, right? So it's actually gonna activate the clash resin, which is good. It could have maybe... No, actually, I don't think it needs anything. I think it's perfectly fine. It's -1 negative. Okay, but you're inflicting 3 paralysis and fragile. Fragile is insane. So I think skill 2, we keep the same. I'm also going to say passive, keep the same. Skill 3. Now, skill 3 is where it's different. Moulinet, first and foremost. Are we editing the wiki? Kind of. Yeah, we're actually writing today. We're actually going to be writing down specifics that I think will enhance the ID's effect. Maybe 3x, not 4. You know what? I actually like that. I think we do. I think we do Gluttony 3x red. I do think 3x is a lot more consistent. Writing and reading the weakness of ProjectMoon players. First things first. Okay. I think you change this now to a 5 plus 4. Now it's a 5 plus 4. It's one extra coin power. That turns it into a 17 skill 3. Okay. 17 skill 3 is decent. So it can win a little bit of clashes on itself. We could do coin power now. We could do everything. And I think you do give it a conditional. I think you do something like on use. Maybe deal 5% additional damage per negative status effect. Max 50%. Now, 50% might be a lot. So we could say maybe like 25%. No, we did not put the new gen rupture. Raise stagger bar? I could do stagger bar. Is stagger bar his gimmick? Stagger bar isn't really his gimmick. His gimmick is kind of just, you know. I kind of want to play into this. I am going to add something here. And that might also be effective. So for now, I'm going to just give him a damage pass. Just to make it do a little bit more damage. And specifically, the third coin... That is true. It does have, it does do exposed weakness. I think third coin... Can we switch skill damage types? No. I'm not allowed to, as per the... Here are the rules of the backstreets. We have to stay in theme with ProjectMoon's original concept. We cannot add personalization status effects. It has to fix the ID, not make it OP, and it does this count up to 5. I mean... If ProjectMoon says that the slash skill that Ryoshu has is a blunt skill, we can't change that. third coin, okay, which is this, by the way. We keep this part, obviously. But the rupture, we make it count. Now, all of a sudden, this is rupture neutral. Okay. So, Moulinet now inflicts rupture count on skill 3. Makes it neutral. He inflicts Pierce Fragility on skill 1. Skill 2 stays the same. He goes neutral, because he is there to exist. Now, we can add more to this as well. There is a... I do like that if target has 3+, we get 3 random allies, large power up. That sounds cool. I like the idea of that. I think you could do something like that. You could do something like... You could add to the passive if you want. If you really want... If you want, you could add an extra passive, right? Like... And have it be like... Winning a clash... when winning a clash... against a target, 4+ negative status effects, give adjacent allies +1 clash up. If 7 association, give, say, you could have him do, let's see, something additional. What could 7 association do? You could say, like, maybe Pierce up. +1 Pierce up. Pierce damage up. You know? Or +1 damage up. Just say +1 damage up. So now... Weakness analyze. Well, the problem is it doesn't fit the gimmick of the skill 3. If this counts as suing target? No. So suing target is specifically adding a status effect. This is adding to his passive. We're getting to the defensive skill. We are allowed to add a passive as long as this is like, I'm not like, this doesn't give them like coffee addict, and coffee addict gives them buffs. No, this is just when you win a clash against a target with negative effects, you give adjacent allies +1 up. And then if ally is association, you give +1 damage up. Additionally, give +1 damage. That is allowed. Like this for the skills. Now, there is a defensive skill that's being talked about. His defensive skill, not really... It doesn't have to be anything. It can just... A defensive skill doesn't have to do anything. But let's, for the sake of the argument, say we do the defensive skill. Okay? Let's do the defensive skill for the sake of the argument. Let me just adjust this real quick. Because I don't think the defensive skill really matters much for 7 yet. 7's saying. It's just a guard. It's a gluttony guard. If you want to give it something. Okay. Maybe. Have it be like... Make it event. I'm not allowed to... I cannot change it. I cannot change it from a block. Yeah, if I had to do something with the block, bare minimum. Yes, the Pierce Fragility still exists. This is just extra. I should say... Let me just fix this as well. Hold on. Let me do this. Because this, I should write both in here just to make sure people understand. I'm not replacing anything. I'm just adding to it. Okay, so this stays the same, and then this is the one that gets new. So I should say, you know, added. Like I'm not gonna say adjusted. The resistance of... See, we're getting too gimmicky, guys. We're getting too gimmicky. We can't be too gimmicky with this. That's why I don't really want to add much to the defensive skill. If anything, I'm just going to say inflict 1 rupture on hit. Like, that would be the bare minimum I add. Because his gimmick is not shielding. He's not a tank. He just has a block, right? That's the difference here, guys. He's not a tank. His gimmick isn't necessary to block. He just has a block. So, because his gimmick is not block related, I'm only going to give him a little bit. He inflicts 1 rupture on block. Okay, just to be there, you know. Now, does this make him the best ID in the? And I'm still a bit extra on this passive as well. So I'm not sure if I still want this passive in here, but I think for what we have going for us, it's potential. But like, I might get rid of this. Gain haste because he gets a sip of coffee next turn. You know what? I actually like that better. I actually like a gain 1 haste. Because you want him to go first. Because he already has 5-8. So you want him to... next turn, I should say. I actually like that. Because... I don't know why I have to write... I don't think I have to write max 1. But I'll write max 1. And I'll make this combat start. Yeah. So, I like this because it makes it so... Yeah, it'll be on use. Well, no, it'd be combat start. Because you only want it once. Okay. Because you only want it to... if you shield 3 times, you only get 1 haste. So, I like this idea because it essentially forces Yi Sang to go first. Right? He initiates the debuffs. Now, this passive, I don't know how I feel about it. I wrote it out, but I think the more I think about it, the more I think it's cool. I don't know. I don't think about it. So, anyway, what have we done? Skill 1 is the same, except now inflicts on hit is rupture, pierce fragility. Skill 2 stays pretty much the same. I don't have any problem with skill 2. Maybe I make no, I don't think I have any problem with skill 2. Cool is good. Sure. Write something like once per turn. I don't need to, because combat start. Combat start is only activates once. And that passive is pretty good with Ring Sang. But wow. It's also now a 3 res instead of a 4 res. And you only activate this when you do the 3 res, by the way. So this only activates if you have the 3 res alongside the other passive. You inflict fragility, you inflict rupture, you deal more damage on skill 3, you have neutral count, you have the same fragility. Yeah, so skill 3 has +4 coin power now, which gives it a 17. Doesn't it apply twice? No, I'm pretty sure it only applies once. What's the same max one? We agree 2 stars that have to roll at least a 15. Well, the purpose of the 2-star is, and that is another thing we have to remember. This is not a 3-star unit, right? We are not balancing this to a 3-star unit. That's why I think it's okay to leave it with just a little bit. Instead of give it 6 to a 6 instead of a 5. Let's see. That would make it a 14 rolling, and then with his passive active, it turns into a 16. That becomes 6, 12, 18 skill rolling 2. I mean... So the reason I don't want to change it, guys, is because this is a gluttony skill, and his passive is gluttony. So if you activate this, this becomes a 5-7 in a clash. Right? This becomes a 19 in. So that's why I don't want to touch the poise. Skill 3, fair enough. I think skill 3, we gave it a little bit of the buff. Skill 1, you could argue, maybe make it 6 base. Maybe, but it's a 12, so it's fine. I think it's fine. The old passive is still there. Let me add the old passive. We just have an extra passive now as well. So the old passive is still here. Right? But now it's a 3-res, and the extra passive is when winning a clash against a target with 4 negative status effects, give adjacent allies +1 clash up. If ally is 7 association, I spelled that wrong. Additionally, I spelled that wrong too, but I don't care. Also give them them. There you go. Alright. And I think I'm fine with this. Shut up. And I think I'm fine with this. It makes it so that his skill 1 is a lot more useful. His skill 2 is a setup for next turn. And skill 3 is actually a good rupture payoff. Including the fact that it also goes neutral on count. Remember, this doesn't have to be the best ID in the world, okay? We're not... It has to fix the ID, not make it OP. What have we done to him? Okay? We've made it so that he can clash better. We've made it so that he can interact better. No interaction with weakness analyze. The ID has to stay with the theme of the original concept. This does not interact with... This ID does not interact with weakness analyze, therefore I cannot add weakness analyze. If weakness analyze was in the kit, I can additionally affect it. Oh, that's true. Sure, 2 slowest IDs or 2 allies on the right. Yeah, I don't know. However you write that, like, I'll just say give 2 adjacent allies. There you go. I think this fixes it. So when you say give 2 adjacent allies, it affects if you're on the left side, it goes double right. If you're on the right side, it goes double left. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Anyway, you know what I mean when I mean by this. I don't know how the specific wording for it is. I'll just say 2 next to them. As why Clay with conditionals real. So I think we're going to be done with Yisang. Because, again, we're not trying to make him OP. We're just trying to bring him up a little bit. You know, he is still a 2-star. He's a 7 unit. This doesn't entirely make him OP or super viable, but now if you have a lot of Pierce unit on your team and they're a bit hard to clash, you know, now you have a much more use for him, and he doesn't screw over your rupture as hard. So we're gonna say W you saying. Should I write down like the entire coins? I should probably write down everything with it, shouldn't I? Let me fix this, hold on. Oh, I hate that. Never mind. I'm just gonna add that. Okay. Yeah, alright, whatever. I'm going to the next one. Next character is going to be... Corp Faust. Yeah, I'm not going to be messing with offense level. So, no offense level. Yes, we have another debuffer. Can I, like, bold this in here? No, okay, whatever. Corp Faust. So, first things first. Gonna have passive. Passive, let's have a look at our passive. Gain 1 charge after an attack, a random ally gains thing. I think we keep that the same. I think that's perfectly fine. I think you keep the same. Keep the same. Skill 1. Look. It is a 12 on use gain charge count, on hit gain charge count. I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But there is one thing I'd like to add before we do that, though. And that is speed. I think we give her a new speed cap. 2 to 4. She has no haste. Her only gimmick is inflicting 4 bind. But it's clear she's meant to be a debuffer. So we're going to up her speed. But I'm not going to up it too much. I'm going to go 4 to 6. I'm going to say 4 to 6. 4 to 6. 4 should be the new minimum for slow IDs. In modern day Limbus. Trying to compare it to other warp IDs? I mean, I could do that, yeah. I'm just going off what I think in my head is like a viable thing. The debuffs are next turn? Yeah, I know. Are these undees invisible? Let's find out. The speed... Okay, the reason we are fixing her speed is not because her gimmick requires speed. It is because in the modern day Limbus, 2 to 4 speed is insane. That's why we are fixing the speed. Not because the speed is necessarily important to a kit, but because we need to make sure that she can play with the other dog. Right? So, skill 1, I honestly think skill 1, you just keep it. Like, same. Keep what did I write for this one? I say stay the same. I think skill 1 is fine. Okay. I think you have skill 1 is obviously building the charge count, and then you also got to remember she gains charge count here. So, you know, if you have Envy, which you will, it's a W Corp team, this is going to give you 5 charge on skill 1. I think that's fine. I don't think we need to touch it. The clash is fine. Skill 2. A lot of charge count, and then you immediately spend the charge count you gain to inflict bind. Okay. I think the 4 bind is perfectly fine. What I don't like in my opinion, okay, I don't like that she gains the exact amount of charge count that she spends. She gains 6 charge count, but spends 3 of it, so she loses half. I think it's a bit funky. Yeah, she gains the 3 on you, so really you're only gaining 3 here. And then skill 3, you spend 5 charge to inflict 2 attack power and 3 paralyze. I think that's perfectly fine. You know, I think that's perfectly fine. This effect, however, it's the only effect it's done. So let's go to skill 2 first, okay? We're going to touch on skill 2 first. This is a coin loss punishment mechanic. I'm not going to be adjusting that. Because she also gains charge count from her passive. I am going to adjust it very slightly. Now you're going to look at me and you're going to question this. But trust me on the process, okay? Believe me in the process when I do this. Okay? On use, gain 4 charge count. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me, W Faust believers. Stay with me. Okay? On hit. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me. Gain +2 charge count. Okay. Now you're... I know it looks bad. Because all I've done is swapped the numbers around. Okay? Instead of it being a 3-3, now it's a 4-2. Now, why would I do this? Okay. She now gains more initial charge. And the punishment for losing the clash on the second hit is less punishable now because she gains more initial charge. She still gains 3 charge. It's still... No, the punishment is still there, just a little bit less. If she hits the enemy, she still gains 3 charge. She's gonna get her charge. It's the same amount of... It's got the same amount of... But you gotta understand, it's to make it feel better. Okay? You can have the punishment is still there, but it feels a little bit better. Okay? This feels a little bit better on you when you use it. It's not... I'm not taking away the punishment. Because the punishment is there. But also it's a 2-star ID. She keeps this effect. This effect stays. Okay? I like the 4 bind. I think it's fine. So that stays. Now we're gonna run back with this ID. This is not the finalized version, okay? Because there is more for us to adjust. But we need to do a template first, and then we need to do another sweep. It's like, you know, you do an example sheet, and then you go over and you do your official sheet. Skill 3. At 5 count, she gains 2 clash power, which puts her up to a 5, which turns into a 21 at clash power. Okay, on the final hit, she spends 5 charge count to inflict 2 attack power down. So, what do I think my problem is with this ID? Okay, I think she has so much charge count generation and is only spending it on 2 things. I want to spend it on more things. I want her to spend more stuff. Because she builds so much charge on herself. She's going to gain so much charge from this. She gains so much charge from this. She gains so much charge for this. And this cancels this out. So this is basically a free cast. This is the only thing you're spending charge on. I want more stuff to spend charge on so she inflicts more debuffs. So so there's a reason that you gain so much charge count. Did I make the 7? Yeah, I did. Now, how do we afflict this? Here's the thing. I think we add some extra coin effects on skill 3. I think we keep the 3rd hit, right? But I think we split it. Why not? Why not instead of she does all of this on 1 coin? Why not we spread it on each individual hit and then increase the effect? Hear me out, okay? We're spreading the downsides that the debuffs. And we're gonna increase it. So, here's how we're gonna do this. Skill 1, sure, first she gets a new coin. But the animations are funky. I can't adjust the animations, okay? First things first. Okay? The first new thing that she does. So how much? She spends 5 charge in total, okay? Spend 1 charge. Okay? 1 charge count. Inflict. You bind. She gets an extra bind. Now she has extra bind. That's free. That's a new buff too that she gets, okay? Now on the second hit, okay? Spend 2 charge count. Inflict. How much is this? 3 paralyze. Next turn. Okay. Hear me out. Then the third one. Spend 2 charge count. Inflict 2 attack power down. Now, I've done this, but I want the costs to stay. It's still 5 charge. 5 charge for all of this. But it's spread now. It is the exact amount of charge count spent still. But now, she spends it on more things. Keep the on-coin effect as well. You keep this. This stays. Right, so I'll add that. This stays at 5. Plus charge count. Plus 2 clash power up. That stays. Instead of bulking it all on this final coin, she now spreads it. Now, why do we want to spread it? Because this lets us add more individually to each thing. Right? We could theoretically up the charge cost and then up the effects. Like, for instance, what if we made it 3 charge count, but it's 3 attack power down? Like, that's a possibility that we can do, right? Like, that's what this does. But there's more. There is more to do. Okay? There is still more to do. See, I agree. I actually think we should make this charge cost higher. I think it should be something like 2, 3, 3. This is 8 charge. Now you're going to look at me and be like, but the effects are the same, the effects are the same, the effects are the same. Okay, hold on. 3 bind, 3 paralysis, 3 attack power. You've increased the charge consumption by 3. Okay? So it is now an 8 charge, but you get 3 attack power down, 3 paralyze, and 3 bind for 8 effects. You keep this at 5, because guess what? At 5 clash power, yes, look at this. At 5 charge, you get exactly the paralyze and bind. 3 is too nutty, but that's her gimmick. That's all she does. This is all she does. All she does is inflict a bind and attack power down. There's no coin power. There's no damage here. She's not going to get any more damage. She's not getting any damage modifiers. All we're fixing here... Telepole? Mind whip. Yeah, mind whip. Now, how do we circumvent this? Keep what you did, and except before use, at 10 charge count, spend 1 charge count to be busted for +1. That's a possibility as well. But that changes her gimmick a little bit. Because that makes her more like Yi Sang. Because Yi Sang's one is plus additional modifiers. That's not how Faust is written. Hers is just supposed to be boom, explode. Right? Now, there are still some problems. And I don't think this entirely fixes her. You sure you want to do it? Like, egos exist. There's nothing we can do about that. But I think if you take W Faust on your team, you're kind of asking for it. Like, you're kind of like, you're taking W Faust on your team. There is, like, the downside is you're taking W Faust. She's not bad. You know, she's not a bad idea. And also, yeah, you are sacrificing Fluid Sac for this. That's why it's very finicky. I don't want to touch her that much because she's already pretty good. We've basically made her a permanent binder machine. Yeah, I'm not balancing around the ego because the ego can completely change an ID or completely affect the ID. She is a crippler, okay? She cripples the enemy. That is correct. Now, she has no clutch powers on here. She has no extra damage. You know, she's got a little bit, like, she's got a decent skill too. You know, she rolls a 14. It's not bad. But the skill 3 is why you use her. Now, her defensive... She's another case where I would not do too much with it. I think if I had to do her defensive skill, I would say inflict 1 bind. That's her defensive block. Spend charge for more shield. That is a possibility. You could also do that. She is a okay. Well, she's okay. She's not necessarily a okay. She has tank stats, but she is not a tank gimmick. A single bind. She is tanky. Don't get me wrong, but she is not a tank. Right? She is a debuffer. That is her. She is a W Corp debuffer. She is tanky. 1 bind per turn. Yeah, like inflict 1 bind per turn. Once per turn. The defense should be consuming charge to apply charge to the rest of the team. But see, that's what her passive's there for. Her passive already does that. And in fact, like, this is not even... I want to do more with this, to be honest with you. But there's really not much more I can say that isn't, like, moving her kit around too much. In my personal opinion, I would adjust this even more if I wanted to. Her job is you want to build as much charge on you as possible to inflict this as possible. The reason we keep the most powerful thing on the third coin, right, is because it is possible for you to still get it if you lose the clash, right? But the bind and the paralysis does hurt. But the bind and paralysis is much more consistent that you're going to get. We could do a +5 conditional on skill 2. It is a possibility. There's a little term neglected in the ID bin. This doesn't entirely fix her problem, I feel, but it definitely helps. We might come around. I think we're going to leave it for now. And we're going to come back to her. Okay? Because I do think she has some more issues that we can talk about. Because again, she's not a... Guys, let me reiterate, okay? Every ID you see on here, in this list, is not a bad ID. It is just a weak ID. And I'm never calling Corp Faust a bad ID. She is just an ID that lacks behind the other Fausts. Right? That's why we're fixing them. We're not buffing them or nerfing them. Right? It is a fix. We are adjusting the W Corp. Now, onward from W Corp, the next character on this list is Shi Association Don. I upload the changes on. Save, I guess, everything. I mean, you can do it, yeah, if you want to change it. Red bar wasn't crazy. So, Shi Don's got an interesting problem. She ain't fast enough. Her defensive isn't necessarily there to be big. It is there just to have an effect. So, Shi Don... We'll come back to W Faust, okay? Shi Don has the problem of she's got no poise. Okay, so we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this the only way we know how. First things first, passive. Gain haste by Wrath Resin next turn. Here's what we do. Okay? Wrath, X2, Res. That is the wrong thing I wanted to do. A Wrath Resin is now X2. A passive is now Wrath Resin ×2, X2. Okay, why? What does this mean? First of all, now it's much easier for her to gain haste. On a single Wrath Resin, which is just 2 IDs, she's going to gain a minimum of 1 haste. Anything above that, at intervals of 2, she gets an extra haste. Okay? I think that gives her consistency, and that's the important part. She has too much haste, but that's her gimmick. Her gimmick is haste. So you want her to have haste. She should be going speed. Skill 1. You keep the on use. You keep the on hit. But I think you up it a little bit. There we go. Obviously, on hit is still the same. This is what? Gain 3 poise? Then you add an on head. I think this is the simplest way to be able to give her thing. Gain 2 poise count. Now, skill 1 now gives her 3 poise next turn, which is the same. Now 2 poise count. Because she's kind of a crit ID, but not really. Okay? So this gives her a little bit of poise count. You know, as a treat. At the second one here. Yeah, that means it's +1 poise count. Every haste on speed. Because that is Sync Don Quixote's gimmick. And we can't infatuate on Sync Don Quixote's gimmick. That's the problem. Her gimmick is... This ID is technically done already by Sync Don. But Sync Don isn't poise. Not yet. Skill 2. I think this is fine. But with a few extras. Okay? First of all, her conditionals. It's fine. Good, in fact. Actually, 16. Good. You have an on-use haste, gain 4 haste next turn. Gives her poise, gives her haste. I think here's what you'd do. At 70% HP, gain 4 haste next turn. Now you're going to be looking at me like, 70% HP is not that much. Well, yeah. But it's the 2-star. So we're allowed to give the 2-star some giga buffs, you know what I'm saying? So instead of 50, it's 70, which gives you 20% more HP. And considering she's at, what, 190? You can do the math on that. And that, yes, there is an additional one. Here, now, we're going to have... How is she going to lose HP, though? Great question. We'll get there. Don't you worry. She also has a new passive. If below 50% HP, +1 coin power. This move is now her DPS move. Okay? And that also reminds me, on use... Deal 5 damage. Take 5 damage. This is going to be a gimmick that you see on the next Shi ID. If below 50% HP, does not activate. Take this passive. You bring it over here. And now you have this. So, now all of a sudden, when she uses skill 1 and 2, she starts taking damage. Once she gets below 50% damage, this does not activate. Yes, it also does not trigger... stagger. I gotta mark that, because it does not trigger stagger. Okay. He gets attack weight. So, with Shi Don Quixote, we're then going to do the skills effects. They can kill her like Heathcliff. Probably. Yeah, sure. We'll say it kills him. I think that's law accurate. Gain poise next turn. Gain haste next turn. Here's what we do. 1. On hit, I think it's like what? Gain 3 poise? Is that how much it is? 2 poise. Make it give 4 poise. From 2 to 4, I think that's fair. And remember, we're bringing them up to current standards. Sustainable poise? We'll see. This is just the draft. Okay. This is the draft. We'll come back to this when we ruminate on the idea a little bit. Because there is some cool things you could do. Yes, I was also going to say this will also have an on-head effect. And then the second one is what? Gain 4 haste, I think. 3 haste. How much is that? Gain 2 haste. Okay, gain 3 haste. Keep that. This is like very soft sustain. You can have a 4-8. Yes, this is now her DPS move. Well, this is not a 4-8. It's a 4-7. And that requires you to be at below 50% HP. And then you got this one. Does it got coin power in a passive? No. She just gains haste. Skill 3 is going to be the biggest change. First things first. You're going to keep this conditional. You're keeping this conditional because now it's going to be way easier for you to gain haste. Okay? There's a potential for you to gain Omega level haste with her now. Am I changing the coin power? No. Coin power, I'm not going to touch the skill 3 coin power because we're going to be doing a little bit different. First things foremost, she keeps this, so this stays. Okay. Deal 5% additional damage per haste. Max 50%. I'll say max 25%. This is exactly like I did with Yisang. If you get 5 haste with her, you get 25% additional damage on this hit. Then you also have max 90%. I think it's impossible to even get that much poise. Actually, how much poise can you get from this? There's 6 skills, 2, 4, 6, so you can get 3 haste. Hold on, I'm thinking, chat. So you get 3, if you do a full Wrath Resin, you would get 3 haste, and if you use skill 2, you would get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 haste is the maximum you can get. 5, 10, 15. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do max 50, chat. So, I have calculated it. Okay? If you have this change, right? And you activate her passive and use skill 2, you will get exactly 10 haste the next turn, which is exactly 50% of the max cap. Which means, theoretically, on a perfect skill 3 usage, you can deal an extra 50% damage. Now, We haven't even gotten to using maths. Should go on a hard on the Liu team. Now do another 50 for being at low HP. You know what? Why not? You know what, chat? Why not? If below 50%, deal plus 20% additional damage. So if you are below 50%, you deal an extra 20%. If you have 10 haste, you deal 50%. If you have 10 speed, you have skill power 5. We're turning this into full stop Heathcliff. All of this, and we have not even given it an effect yet. Because we're going to give it an on-crit effect. We're not going to give it a reroll because I don't think that fits the theme of the character. On crit. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Consume haste. Gain poise and poise count evenly. That's right. Imagine on crit, consume your haste and gain poise and poise count evenly. If you consume 5, yes, that is exactly what that means. If you crit on the skill 3 to, yes, you crit on the skill 3 to gain poise. Now you're looking at me. I know you're looking at me, but isn't that counterproductive? It's funny. No, this is your current, this is on like her, well, she's already attacking. So when you lose haste, you don't lose your speed. Your speed die is forever determined at the start of the turn. Theoretically, okay, what this means is if you have 10 haste, which is the optimal amount that you can have in this stack, right? Haste next turn is not affected. This is current turn. The same turn haste. Yes, if you do this with a max of 10, you get 10 poise, 10 count. Now, to be fair, 10 poise and 10 count is the literal best case scenario. But theoretically, it lets you forever build up poise. Once you get this skill 3, you snowball, and that's the gimmick I'm going with here. She is a snowball ID that snowballs the effect of just getting poise. She poises, boom, 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 boom. Now she's a full online poise ID, and she just goes nuts. Just goes boom, 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 boom. But what's the downside? Well, the downside is that she's kind of like already always at like 50% HP. But you're going to be doing damage. Why do I need a fixed peak? Yeah. Do I think this is the only fix you can give her? No. I think you can change a lot of things. And there are a lot of things that you can do. You could give her some more on-speed conditionals. I think that works as well. You can remove all of her poise gimmick and be fine. I think her Evade. Here's what you do. There. Gain 1 poise count on evade, max 2. Why do you do this? Because you're always going to be +1. The thing is here, I made it so that the poise... So this was all intentional, chat. The poise count you get from skill 1 and skill 2 is just enough. Is just enough for you to be edged. You're edging your poise count. It isn't until you hit that juicy skill 3 that you can guarantee your poise. The defensive is there to just help maintain your poise count. Tool slash +1 attack weight. Now, there is more you can do here. Like, for instance, skill 1, you can add, like, if speed is, if, you know, you could say, like, at 10 speed, right? Like, 5 plus speed. I don't know. +1 clash up. You could add that. You could add all these little minute things, right? I'm not going to add that because that's not this thing. Let me elaborate, chat. This is not... Everything you see here, okay, is not the only way you can change things. This is the draft. Okay? It's going the opposite of what she does. She does nothing. There is no opposite of nothing. The opposite of nothing is nothing. I don't know how to say it. Trust me, I am the one to tell... I will be the first one to tell you that I would be changing something. She does nothing. The opposite of nothing is everything. The opposite of nothing. All we've done to her kit is make it so that she is now an easier accessible poise unit, and she gains the benefits of being at half health or lower HP like the other Shi units do. Give her all statuses then. Now, as I said, this isn't the sure way to fix her. This is just my draft. I might come back to this and completely change it. But this is just one of the ways you could do it. I think this lets you play her now as an actual poise unit, as an alternate. This is an alternate Blade Lineage Don. I gotta mod these. How the fuck do I mod these in? I've got no idea how to do that. Because you gotta remember, this is competing with Blade Lineage Don Quixote. Do you know how good Blade Lineage Don Quixote is? Blade Lineage Don Quixote is giga cracked. Blade Lineage Don Quixote is omega amazing. So this is competing with Blade Lineage Don Quixote. Really? This doesn't even... The things that we've done does not even hold a candle to Blade Lineage Don Quixote. But it's a draft, so, you know, we're allowed to like make, you know, we're allowed to fluff around a bit. Anyway, 7 Ryoshu. She has the exact same problem as Yisang. Like, literally, no, she has the literal exact same problem as Yisang. You want to know what her problem is? The problem is the only good skill she has is skill 3. Okay? What is my purpose? Your purpose is to inflict 5/fragility. Fragility is a lot of damage. This make her uptime 1 art live 2D. She is the exact same as Yi Sang, except she is the slash debuffer. Just give her this. Her skill 2, I mean, it's fine, but I'm not picking her because of this skill 2. I'm picking her because of this. This is just a bonus. This is useless, for instance. This is good. And this is situational. This is just bad. Because it's the exact same thing as Yi Sang. And this is fine. Because it's a counter. But this bad boy, this is why you pick this character. Problem. She doesn't have any haste. So that's a problem. Name a better clashing S2. Literally any other S2 in the game. Just because she clashes good doesn't mean it is a good skill. Her I'm not touching her speed. I'm just saying. She wants to obviously go first. Because she wants to clash against the target, correct? She also has fake rupture. She is this dare to be classified as a rupture unit. But let's go through slowly, guys. Okay, let's go through it slowly. First things first, the passive. Deal 10% slash damage this turn. I mean, you know what? It's not bad. It's there. It exists. You know, it's there. You deal damage. What, you know, that's good, especially if you have this. If you get 2 S3s in a row plus this passive, like my damage, like it's crazy. I'm not touching her power here. This is staying. This is part of her gimmick. All I'm saying is, you're not picking her just because she has a 20 on skill 2. You're picking her because she has a 5/fragility on skill 3. This is a bonus. This skill is a bonus to the skill 3. Okay? Because if you're picking her just because she has a 20 clash, just use an ego. Just ego. Use Oshare. Oshare is the exact same thing. Cheap. It only costs 4 ego resources. And you're getting more of a benefit. Oshare is base ID. Forest of the Flame is base ID. If you don't use ego, that's on you. But upper slash is just there. It's just a different Forest of Flame. Keep the counter. I'm not going to change the counter. But you don't, guys, you seem to understand. You think I'm going to make this weaker. I'm going to make this better. Remember, I'm not going to change this. I'm going to make it better. Because I think it can be better. We're gonna split her reliance off. Here's what we're doing, guys. We're doing the exact same thing we're doing the W Faust. We're gonna split her reliance on just one skill and make the rest of her kit more viable. So I think you do the exact same fucking thing here. First of all, the passive. 5 own deal more 7% damage. Then just change it to just deal 10% more damage. Just make the passive deal 10% more slide. Whatever, right? Like, why does it have to be on this turn? The on this turn bit is irrelevant. Just do this. Skill 1. Here's what we're doing. We're doing the same thing we're doing like we did the Yisang, guys. Okay? On hit, inflict 2 rupture. That's gonna same. And then on head, inflict 1 slash fragility. This is the exact same thing for Yisang. You parallel them because they parallel each other. So now, you get slash fragility. 1 slash fragility. It's the same turn as well. Okay? And now skill 2. Now, as I said, I'm not making skill 2 weaker. I'm making skill 2 better. First things first, keep this conditional. This is fine. What does it say? Skill power plus 2 against units is slash fragility. Okay. He does not need fragile S1. Do you know what character this is? This is 7 Ryoshu. I'm telling you, the S1 is useless on its own. What the 1 slash fragility is FOMO. It just makes it feel better. Also, this is what we're changing, by the way. You see the on hit inflict 2 defense level down? Gone. Now it's on hit, inflict 2 slash fragility. Because why does she have 2 defense down? Fuck the defense down. You want to make her gimmick slash fragility? Okay, let's make her gimmick slash fragility. Every move she does now inflicts slash fragility. That's her gimmick. Every move she has. Screw the defense level down. Now she can skill 2 into skill 2. She doesn't need to skill 3 into skill 3. It's a lot more consistent for her skill 2 now. Can we make the best IDs worse? That's a good idea. Swash. Okay. What do we do with this move? We keep it the same. It's perfectly fine. Except she now has 2 extra coins. 1 and 2. Breathe stays the same. This stays the same. Inflict 3 slash fragility. Turn. Passive is the same. What is the passive again? The passive is this skill inflict. Oh, Clash Win, sorry. Yes, we are doing the theory crafting. Will you make her a 3-star? Don't worry, I'm not gonna. Guys, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Here's what you do. On hit. Remember, guys, she also is technically a rupture ID. On hit, inflict 1 plus 1 rupture count. On hit. Inflict plus 1 rupture count. Do you keep her buff? Yeah, I'm keeping this. I'll keep it. And really, this is it. Now she's going to be less negative. I gotta fix this. So what have we done? We really haven't done much to her. And that's because I don't think she's weak, guys. I think she just needed a little bit of tweaking. She's still not a rupture unit. We haven't changed that about her. All we've done now is just double down on the fact that she loves slash fragility. So her S1 now inflicts turn 1 slash fragility. Her S2 inflicts turn 2 slash fragility. What do you mean she's not negative in the first place? She has no count on her kit. She is negative. She's negative 100%. In fact, there's not a single bit of positivity in her. There is no rupture. You use her on the rupture team, but now guess what? You don't have to use her on the rupture team anymore. We've taken her position out of the 7 team. Her S1 still deal blunt? Yes, her S1 still deals blunt. We're not changing that. We're not changing that. Now, at least, you feel a little bit less guilty if you use her on your 7 team. And you can actually use her now on a slash team, officially, without having to just rely on the skill 3. The skill 2 still clashes like 20. It just inflicts slash fragility. The skill 3 still inflicts slash fragility. It has no extra point powers, no extra attack buffs, no nothing. All it does now is consistency. The S1 will still deal blunt. She is slash woman. Now, arguably, you could adjust the passive. I'm not going to adjust the passive. I'm going to leave the passive because I've already changed it from this turn to just deal more slash damage. Two on the S2 is too much? For a single coin? No. It's a 1 coin. Sure, it hits a 20. But if you're using 7 Ryoshu, you know, you are sacrificing a lot of Ryoshu, of great Ryoshu IDs to do 20% more damage to slash attacks. Now she's 200% more medley? Good. Good. Now her gimmick is she kills people with slash. But specifically, just boom, 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 boom. S1 is same turn. Yes. If it doesn't say next turn, it is same turn. Kind of a busted slash support, but you gotta remember, that's what 2 stars are, guys. 2 stars are hyper-specific gimmick IDs. Like what we've talked about here. Why else would I, why would I bring Yi Sang into my rupture team, into my fragility team? It's because he's going to inflict Giga Pierce Fragility. Why would I bring W Faust into my W Corp team? Because she's going to inflict Giga debuffs. Why am I going to bring Shi Don Quixote? Oh, actually, why are you going to bring Shi Don Quixote? Why am I going to bring 7 Ryoshu? Because she's going to inflict Giga slash fragility. Yes, she is more murderly now, but she's also the squishiest bitch in the game. So she will die if you don't take care of it. We didn't up any of her other stuff. Like, she still gains everything. Is this on the equivalent of a tier 3? No, she's not a skill 3 unit. I still think Butler is better. I think Butler's better than this, but she's not a 3-star, so we're not balancing her to a 3-star. We're just making her a gimmick. And this is also the draft, so we'll always come back and be able to change it. So, Corp Meursault, I'm just going to let you know, this is probably going to be the hardest one. Because this ID makes me want to just throw his entire kit out and redo it. But that's not are part of the rules. So, the problem with Corp Meursault is that he sucks ass. Like, really sucks ass. There's a lot I want to change with him. First things first. His passive, it's a Wrath thing. It's going to be Wrath owned. Wrathpour owned, I think, is what I said. This is no longer a res, this is an owned. I don't know why it's a res. I mean, yeah, the effects are nice. But below 50% HP is pretty important. So, immediately, it's a Wrath owned. Skill 1! We are fixing this coin power. This is doo-doo. So this is how we're going to fix it. Okay? It is going to become a 5-3. Now it's a 5-3. Now it rolls an 11 base. Am I going to adjust the coin power? No. This is going to stay. Because at max power, it's a 15 skill 1. Oh no, it's a 15 skill 1. Give him K-Corp Ampules? I cannot give him Ampules because that is giving him a status effect. That is going against the rules of the backstreets. I cannot give an add personal or status effect. Now, technically, I could add K-Corp. Technically, adding K-Corp Ampule would be lore-wise, like, accurate, but I'm not going to do that. So, we're going to play around his gimmick. Yeah, he is a 3-star, so he's allowed to be Giga. His thing stays. To be honest with you, this can stay, I guess. It's gonna do more damage now because of the fact that he has coin power. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wanted him to inflict nails. How much have you done already? About 2, 3, 4 out of the 12. I think you keep this gimmick. Okay? Why not? 2 nails is not going to be the end of the world for him. Okay? He gets 2 nails on skill 1. Because that's going to allow him to use skill 2 better. So he gets 2 nails. Inflict X nails on 2 staggered. That does sound cool. Skill 2. Let's just do the draft first, and then we can go over it. Could I pull from the Guido and Bros to improve the ID? That does sound good. I'm gonna do myself first in my personal thoughts, and then we can go over it after. Skill 2. It's a 12. And inflicts 3 nails, 3 binds. If target has 5 nails, inflict 2 binds, 2 packs without down. I think this is fine. I think all of this is fine. I think this is the problem. I think this is a little bit doo-doo. So how do we fix this? This is how we fix this. Build 2. Target has 3 plus nails plus coin power. Ahem. Now he gets plus 2 coin power. That makes this a 16 now. If he has if the target has 3 nails. This becomes a plus 16. So it becomes a 5, 10, 16. It becomes a 16 skilling roll 2. I think that's pretty standard. All of these effects you keep. All of this stays the same. Give him phlebotomy pack ego. Everything else stays the same on that skill. Skill 3. Okay. This is kind of like Faust. Now let me explain. Grip Faust. Her S2 is better than her S3. Okay? Because that's the one who gripped this is the nail. That's the neat part. We're actually not going to do that. The skill 3 is going to stay the same in power-wise. Because the way that the N Corp... Let me grab you as a reference, Faust, who is very mouse. Okay? Because we're basing this off Faust. Because he is like a replica of her, right? He's like her man. Where is she? So, Faust's skill 2, the gripping, is a 3 calling 4/4/4. Is better than execution. Execution is a gimmick. Inflict nails on kill, heal allies SP and blunt, deal damage with 5 nails. The same thing is going to be said here, except we're going to make them a little bit better. We're going to take a page out of Guido's book. Okay? So the first coin on hit. Okay? Now, he's going to inflict 2 nails from skill 1. He inflicts 3 nails with skill 2. Okay? And let's keep the 2 nails. Why not? Okay, fuck it. Keep the 2 nails for next. So he still inflicts 2 nails. The second part, however, he is now going to heal. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, make it same turn nails, actually. Let's do same turn nails. Heal 100%. No, it's 75% of damage dealt. Okay. HP. Heal plus 3%. Target nail. Max 25%. Does Fnatic increase power? Great question. We have it here. Hold on. Fnatic increases final power. So, now, the final hit of the skill 3, if you have 5 nails on the target, is 25% increase. If you hit someone On the second hit, you are going to be dealing 100% of the damage. What do you mean 25 is not divisible by 3? I'm not divising by 3, it's divisible by 5. Defensive. I'm not going to be touching this negative ID, the coin. I am, however, going to be changing the protection. We're basically going to swap these around. It's now going to be combat start, gain +2 final power. And at, what? Less than 50% HP, gain +1 protection. Because you are using the counter to get hit. You want to take damage. That's what you're trying to do here. You want to be at below 50% HP, so you can get this effect permanently. Does that mean that all of the solo runs are now ruined? I mean, no, because you still get the protection. Before hit, same thing as combat start. No, I'm just swapping it. I'm just swapping it. Yeah, this is just getting swapped. You gain the protection now when you're at under half. When you counter. Which means you now get 4 protection at combat start. Which is good. You know, you get the gimmick, basically. Because you're going to have the res. Because it's no longer a res, it's going to be owned. And I think that alone literally fixes this ID. Is he OP? No. Does he have his purpose in the N-Corp team? You'd gain 1 each before hit. Well, yeah, I don't want him to gain multiple. He just gets 1. The reason I'm not making it proc multiple times is because his passive gives him 3 at the start of the combat phase. Apply 1 attack power to the ally with the least HP. Yeah, we can change the support passive. Here's how we change the support passive. This is the rare support passive change. Are you ready for this, guys? Ready? Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this, guys? Fix the support passive. There you go. Apply 1 attack power protection to the ally with the least HP. Period. That is how you fix the support passive. Keep it as a res. I'm not changing the res. It is still going to be a Wrath res. Kinda OP. Once per encounter. I mean, yeah, it's always going to be once per encounter. Because it activates 1 at a time. I see very well. Yeah, we don't want that. So, why do I think this is not a problem? Well, first it's a Wrath res. second, I mean, what's the difference between this and whistles? Oh, you want to know what the difference is? Boom. I just upped the Wrath res by 1. Literally fixes all of the problems, by the way. Now the support passive has gone up by 1, but it no longer activates at below 50% HP. This is the exact same as Whistles now. This is the alternate Whistles. Whistles gives you 15 SP. This one gives you attack power and protection to the ally with the least HP. He is now kind of good for a burn team. He is now just kind of okay. On the goat Liu Meursault. That is true. You do miss out on the goat Liu Meursault. Anyway, do I think this makes him OP? No. So far, I don't think any of the characters are OP. In fact, so far, I think I'm much more inclined to believe I've gone incredibly lenient on them, because I do not want to have my throat slit by the ProjectMoon community for having an opinion. So, I've been very lenient with what my adjustments have been. With everything. And I'm going to keep it that way because I like living, personally, and having a career. So... Next character. Speaking of Liu. Liu Hong Lu. Very interesting case. Because Liu Hong Lu has a really cool gimmick. He's an SP gimmick. He actually has decent count. He actually is a decent... He's not that bad. Genuinely. The problem is he doesn't do a lot of damage. That's kind of his big issue. Also, his support passive is just so juicy. Flaring up. At 30 SP, inflict +1 burn count with effects and attack scoins this kill. I think that's fine. You can keep that. Nothing really need to change about that. If you want to be ill about it, excuse me. If you want to be specific about it and allowing him to be more active, what you'd want is passive. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. Make this like 20 SP. You make this 20 SP because after 2 clashes or 2 enemies defeated, you gain the effect. Which is pretty fair. After 2 turns, you start getting into your gimmick. Skill 1. Yeah, this needs to change. Okay, first of all, it's an 11, so it's very baby, but it's a 2-star. We're gonna give him some damage modifiers. We're gonna say if SP. How does ProjectMoon write this? Okay, they write it like this. At, say, for skill 1, at 20 SP, 20 plus SP, deal 10% additional damage. Burn on target. Max Now skill 1 does a little bit more burn. It does more damage now. A little bit more damage on the S1. It still heals. He's still going to inflict it, except we're going to make him inflict more burn. Now he's going to inflict on hit. Inflict 1 burn. On hit. Inflict 1 burn count. So skill 1 still heals him. It gives him, now skill 1 gives him 1 burn and 1 burn count. Which, with his passive active, gives him 2 burn count on skill 2. Final power potential. Skill 2. Trust the process. Trust the process. His gimmick is burn count, so we're gonna double down on the burn count. Skill 2. To be honest with you, skill 2 is low, but it has 2 coin power, which does make it a 16. So, let's go skill 2, and I'd say keep this, so this stays the same. That's 1/3 of his skills. 1/3 on skill 1 as much as Dawn-Clair's too. Yeah. Inflict 1 burn. If Tang already has burn, inflict 1 more. That can stay the same. If you really wanted to be specific about this, you could say, you could make this like... You can say inflict 1 burn. If target already has burn, inflict 2 more. And then the second one, obviously this is just if inflict burn count at 30 SP, inflict 1 more, inflict 2 more. Ooh. Oh, bitch. Bitch, lasagna. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is fine. You keep this. So, do you see the gimmick? He does a little bit of burn potency and then a little bit of count. He does a little bit of burn potency, then he does a little bit more count. In terms of his numbers, like his coins here, I mean, is there anything really wrong? I mean, nah, you can keep this. I mean, maybe lower the conditional if target has 5 burn. Start activating it a little bit faster. Skill 3. Now, skill 3 is the big boom. I think his clashing is fine. I think it just needs a damage conditional. I think he just needs the damage conditional. On hit, kill target, and pre-order GTA 6. Yeah, he needs to fucking pre-order GTA 6 or something. It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? First things first, we're gonna keep this passive. Then we are going to go let's see. What was I going? Here, we're gonna go right, we want a damage passive. So what I'm thinking here is you can say what do I do? I want him to do more damage. So do I want him to do more damage based on the burn count, or do I want him to do more damage based on his SP? Because he's kind of like an SP gamer. Maybe both. You know what? Why not both? If SP... Is that how I write the conditionals? It's at thing. At 40 SP. Deal 30% additional damage. If target has 6 plus burn count, deal 20% additional damage. I'm gonna move these around a little bit so it's nicer. There. So now at 40 SP, I should do 40 plus technically. Now you deal more damage if you have high SP, and you deal more damage if you have high burn count. I'm not going to up the coin power, because the coin power is fine. But now your damage does a little bit better. And because your damage is a little bit better, that is one hell of a damage dealing. I mean, it's all because of his final on-hit coin. So this effect... Shit, hold on. Inflict a 1 additional burn. We're going to up this to inflict 2 burn. Target already has burn. How do I read this again? Inflict 1 burn. If target already has burn, inflict burn count. We'll just make this 2 burn count. What's the second and third line? Oh yeah, you're right. Right. This heads hit thing is a bit random. So, I think I'm just, like, I guess it gives him SP, which is good. I would unironically have it more on S2. Or even S1. I would like make this like maybe 5 SP and get rid of this. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. I mean, I guess for now I'll keep it. But doesn't really work with what I'm going with. And this gets changed to now, because he already has so many burn conditionals. I think what you do is you just change this to raise stagger threshold on target. Good luck, Doug. I think you just do this. I think you just skimp on the on head hit. And then make this give you the on-head heal H, like, heal 6 SP. That is true. You could do a heal thing. Because this is going to inflict a much... I'm not even going to lie to you. I might even just remove the Hespe. I mean, I might just make it like an on-use. In fact, I think I will make it on-use. I think I'm just going to remove the on-head bit, unironically, and just put it as an on-use. Because on-head doesn't really matter. I'd rather it on-use. On-use is better because you get it before the clash. On-head means you're going to get it after the clash. Here, you get some SP, whatever. Not that big of a deal. And there you go. I think that is pretty much a good draft on Hong Lu. Because what we've done is we've just kind of spread more burn count on him. And also given him more damage. Because that was his big problem. His clashes were never a problem, it was just his damage. So now he does damage on SP, now he does damage on SP, now he does more damage if they have burn count, and he also raises their stagger threshold by the damage dealt, which is guaranteed now, and he also has more damage on the second coin. So, I think that's a W. That is a W. Okay. Shi Heathcliff is going to be very interesting. Because he's kind of has because what I want to do with Shi Heathcliff, this man is already perfect. I mean, you know what? You're not wrong. You do be spitting factual knowledge. As the sixth dog, man. I don't want to do much with Heathcliff. However, I do want to do this. I want to take away his HP gimmick here and put it on his main skills. First things first is also his passive. I think we can... I think already having to not take damage is a pretty good conditional. So what we're going to do... Also, I got to do some tap. Shi Heathcliff. So, here's what I think. Passive. Okay. Wrath. What is it? 3 or 4? It is a Wrath 3x owned. So now it's an owned passive. But I'm also going to change it. Now this is a bit controversial. So I've basically... I'm turning his support passive into his main passive, kind of. Take 10% more damage, deal 10% more damage. He wants to take damage. He wants to be under 50% HP. More than anyone else. Except Ishmael. Defensive and ally death. I mean, that also does sound kind of cool. Maybe on the second round of drafts, I would do that. Because that does sound kind of cool. Skill 1. First thing I'm do on skill 1. The Ryoshu hustle, but lesser. Yeah, basically. First things first. This HP gimmick. Shit, what the fuck? As I was saying, this HP gimmick goes to 75. On use, take 5 damage. Does not triggers. So, he still gets the skill power +2, except his HP now can be a little bit less than 75. It could just be 50. On use, he does still gain the poise count. But give this man some on-hit effect. Give bro a little bit of on-hit. How about just a simple gain 2 poise? Doesn't have to be that much. It could just be 2 poise. Now, you can argue because the fact that technically this is the thing that gives him poise, but using these two over and over again is a bit clunky. A bit clunky, personally. Especially because his passive wants 10 fucking poise count. So we're gonna make our lives a little bit easier and just make them so that they give each other some buffs. Skill 2. Same on use effect. Oh, also, if below 50% HP, this does not trigger. Exactly the same thing that we've done here. At 75% HP, skill power +2. This one on use gives him poise. And then the on hit. At above, take 5 damage. Ooh, that is probably a lot better. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. At above 50%. So that's what? At above 50% HP. Take 5 damage. I like that a lot more. That is a lot better. So, his S1 and S2 kind of suck. That's kind of on purpose. In fact, I might even change this. I might not even give him poise, unironically. I might actually just make this give him more poise count. So, he gets a little bit of poise on skill 1, on skill 2. But his skill 2 is the one that gives him actual count. So now he gets 3 poise. He gets 6 poise count. And he gets 3 poise count here. So, what happens now? I'm going to change this actually to... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking probably convert poise into poise count. Or I was going to just say at under 50% HP. Actually, hold on. Let me try this. Skill 3. Here's what we do. We can either keep this at 10 or lower the number. I think the logical play is probably just lowering the number to like 7. Or 8. Actually, 8's better. Do the reverse of sync poison. Yeah, either we keep this at 10 or we lower the number or we add an extra thing. For instance, we can add a at less than 50% HP, convert poise into poise count. The thing is, he doesn't generate much poise in his kit, it's just from S1. Speed buff to Heathcliff? I don't think I'm gonna add a speed buff to Heathcliff. I think I'm just gonna lower this. Yeah. So how this works now is skill 1, you get a little bit of poise. Skill 2 gives you mainly count. So theoretically, if you skill 1 and skill 2, that gives you how much? So that gives you 2, 2, and then 6, 2, which is 5, 2. Yeah. This is what, yeah, this is 5 count. Well, technically 5 if you do. I'm just trying to think. So if I do 2 skill 2s, I'll reach it. 2 skill 2s obviously gives you 6, which gives you exactly 10 if you get 2 of them. If you do a skill 1 into a skill 2, you're going to get 3 poise and 2 count. You're going to lose 1 poise at the end of it, so it's 2, 2. Then you're going to gain 6, so it's going to become 8, and then it's going to become 7. So it becomes 7 at 7. It comes 2, 7, which is 9, which is 1 off. Which means if you do 1, 2, 1, you can use skill 3. If you do 2, 2, you get skill 3, which I think is pretty fair. You get your skill 3 gimmick after 3 turns, and then once you get and that also does not include counter. Speaking of, we need to do this. This says before attack, plus 50% deal damage for this coin. I'm just gonna have it say plus 50% damage for this coin. Yeah, I think Heathcliff's is fine because he has attack weight, so making him go first is a bit scary. He is actually the tank of the group. Kind of. He's the tankiest one of the group. He can be slow because he has attack weight. Attack weight is very strong, so you don't want to give someone fast attack weight unless you're Don Quixote. Manager of La Marche and Don Quixote, of course. And then on the counter, what you do here, you remove the lose HP because you're gonna take HP. At 3 poise count, DM plus 50%. I mean, what's the counter at? It's a... yeah, I guess that's fine. But I think also what you can do here is instead of the on-use BUHP, have it so that the on-use is gain 2 haste. There. His defensive now gives him 2 haste next turn. He gains the poise damage still. And he still has all the poise gimmicks. This doesn't necessarily make him broken, but it definitely makes him a little bit more viable. It's only the first draft, though. Okay. Sorry about that, I had to alt-tab. So, pretty much done with Heathcliff. I don't think there's much more I want to do with him for now. Again, just the standard rotation. Next character! Slosh Mail. I have no unique names. I didn't know that. Slosh mail. I'm just gonna say this for slosh mail. Make everything a unbreakable coin. And steal LCE Yi Sang's gimmick 1-to-1. But place rupture. Okay, slosh mail is done. On to the next character. We have LCCB Rodion. You think I'm memeing, but that's basically what I truly believe about slosh mail. Just, I'm not even joking. Just make everything an unbreakable coin, steal LCC gibbons, and replace it with rupture. Okay, I'll write out a real one for slosh mail. Okay. First things first, the passive. I'll write a real one. I'm kidding, Chad. I'm kidding. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. First things first is the passive. Let me fix this passive real fucking quickly. You want to know what's wrong with this passive, chat? First of all, read this to me. If a unit fails to deal damage using this attack and skill, gain shield. Okay, how about this instead? If this unit fails a clash, using an attack skill, gain a shield equal to 10% of their HP. Already amazing. You know why? Because turn every coin into an unbreakable. Okay, I'll write that on. We're still going with the unbreakable thing. I'm not even kidding. Skill 1. Ahem. Turn into an unbreakable coin. I mean, that's fine. I don't really see. I mean, I don't really have a problem with her gaining shield on ego. When is she really gonna fail an ego? If you fail an ego, it's not the worst thing in the world. She sounds immortal in solo run. Well, she's gonna have unbreakable one. First of all, turn into an unbreakable coin. That's the first thing you do. Keep the rest. I'm gonna literally keep this, except swap this around. Why is this an on-head hit? Get rid of on-heads. It is max 30, it's not the worst. On hit, inflict 1 tremor. On hit, inflict 1 tremor count. And you know what we do? The classic tried and true. Boom. Well, yeah, actually what we want is this to be. We actually want this to be the tremor, and this is the count. Which is the exact same here. Six clash for 20 per clash is like 120 shield each turn. It only has a max of 30. Or is that max HP? I'll just say base skill. Also, I'm gonna bring this back to what it was. Yeah, no, I was fixing it. Okay, there we go. Skill 1 now inflicts 1 tremor count and 1 tremor. On Clash Lu, she inflicts 2 tremor and 2 rupture. Next skill. Skill 2. Turn into an unbreakable coin. Actually, you don't need an unbreakable coin. This skill's fine. Actually, no, you do. You are unbreakable. I take it back. Turn this into an unbreakable coin. Inflict 2 tremor. Inflict 2 tremor. From 1-2, it's now 2-2. And not 1 clash. Yeah. So. Actually, you know what I can do here? Hold on, I'm about to cook. Yeah, no, this is cook. This is cook. Okay, okay. This is now 2 tremor count. And can make her unclashable. That would be funny. The 2 tremor potency has turned into tremor count. Skill 3 is going to get the biggest change. Okay? Because here's what's going to happen on skill 3. Everything stays the same except the skill. On hit, trigger tremor burst. After triggering a tremor burst. Okay. Reduce tremor count by 2. In fact, actually, you can keep this. I'll take a 3. 3 is good. Reduce tremor count by 3 and inflict rupture counts. They are still there. I just didn't put them in. If I don't put something in here, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have it. It's just that I'm so lazy. I really don't want to have to add everything. But I'm very inconsistent right now. I really should just add everything, but I'm very lazy and I don't want to add everything. But yes, if it's not added in here, it's technically still there. Technically. Unless stated otherwise. Why am I doing this? Why do we do anything? Why do we breathe? Why do I eat food? Why do I go to the bathroom? Because I have a vision that I want to piss off every single Project Moon fan. So I'm doing that right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing this because it's just fun. So there you go. After trigger tremor burst, reduce tremor count by 3, inflict 5 rupture count. GG, she's the best ID in the game. Next character. I'm not even kidding you. This is literally all you need to do. Fuck, you could probably do this. The exact same thing. Will I be gambling? There's nothing to gamble right now, good sir, but I probably will when when there is something to gamble. Don't you worry. I will be there. So this is the exact same as her normal kit, except now she does 2 trout and boom. What am I waiting for? Something to gamble for. Oh, actually, I'm gonna keep this for her. Good. There you go. Okay, Slush Bell's done. On to LCCB Rodion. Okay, LCCB Rodion is also another Meursault situation. Fuck me, okay. LCCB Rodion has another small issue. Where, first things first, her passive needs to fix. Fix this passive. She might get the rare 2 passives. This is a 3x own. Not only that, but I might give her the illustrious double passive. I really liked the idea of her attacking before a target. This is a really interesting idea where she uses skill 2 on a target that is using a defensive skill, like Heathcliff. I'm trying to think how I would write it. If adjacent ally with the fastest speed is targeting a enemy that has used a defensive skill, activate use a separate instant skill 2 for ally. Use a separate instant skill 2. Use skill 2. See, like, this is so weird. How do I write this out? If adjacent ally with the fastest speed is targeting an enemy that has used a defensive skill, use skill 2 to target the enemy. Damage enemy first. Does not break current enemy actions. So you're probably looking at me like I'm the biggest fucking monkey. What the fuck is this? Is my attempt at trying to make Rodion the anti-defender defense unit. My theory is if you have Rodion and, say, Yi Sang. Yi Sang is faster than Rodion. He's trying to attack Pequod Lovetown. Okay? They're using a defensive skill. He's about to initiate the clash with the defensive skill. Rodion instead would come in, use her skill 2, which inflicts 4 defensive power down. Does not cancel the evade, okay? Very specific. Does not cancel the evade. But it hits her first like a one-sided attack. One side. And then his actual turn goes through. And that turn is affected by the defense power down. This is like such a thing, like a gimmick, but I kind of fuck with it. First, we're gonna fix our skill 1. I mean, this is fine. This is just weird. Combat style. Oh, that is a much nicer way of doing it. Yeah, that's a yeah, that's a much nicer way of doing it. I think we'll just do that. So, skill 1, if the next skill on the dashboard does blunt damage, this skill power is to such a wacky effect. Yeah, Euro Ryoshu is what I was basing it off. And I really like that idea. This is fine. 3 paralyzed, turn 1 is fine. Plus 2 coin power. I mean, like, I think I'm gonna add some extra stuff to this. For instance, this is heads hit. I want to make that on hit. Head. Skill 2, I genuinely think you keep the same, even the horrendous clashing, because I feel like the gimmick is not the skill 2. That she's LCP fits with that idea. Yeah, for real. I think for the sake of sake, you do have to buff the coin power because it's just so unremarkably bad. Like, I think you just do skill +3, like, honestly. Like, that doesn't even affect it that much, honestly. If you make it a +3, all that does is just make it fucking 12. And then, oh, the blunt damage is going to be +2, so it's going to be a 16. Like, that's not bad. That's not the end of the world. The first coin is going to inflict... What I think it should just do on hit inflict 2 bind. Next turn. And then this is the one that inflicts on it. Skill 3, interesting. If you took no damage from this turn, damage this turn, coin power 3, that's fine. And then inflict defense power, defense level, paralyze. I think what you do here is you have her set up kind of like an upgraded version of W Faust. You're like final power, maybe. I think what you do in this one is, first of all, the coins. 1, 3. Just 1, 2. First of all, yeah, if enemy is blocking, it can do that. That sounds kind of cool. In fact, I might even remove this. I might add that here. If enemy used a defensive skill +5 final power. Add that to the skill 1, dude. Make the skill 1 unique, bro. Make it so that she's like the anti-evader. You know what I'm saying? Like you beat her ass to make, like, she jumps the people who evade. Skill 2 is fine because it inflicts defense power down. I should be in the ProjectMoon team. I don't think I should. I think I am very bad at doing these. Because I could be doing so much more. ProjectMoon has a lot of very unique ways of doing this. Yeah, like her gimmick is the anti-evader. That's like what I'm going with. Skill 3, first of all, we're just going to remove all these heads hits and just kind of boost the power. I am also going to reorder these in the like effects that I think are the most powerful to this power. So I'm going to go defensive, then power down, then paralyze. On hit. Yeah, I'm gonna fund the we're gonna fund the anime, and then maybe then I'll have some clout in the ProjectMoon team. Clicked or defense power down. No, it was defense level. Maybe the def down can be on head. Yeah, I can see the def down being on head actually. Yeah, there is. I'm just like writing it out. It's faster. Actually, do I even care about it being on head? Not really. I could just do it, and then it's like defense power down. Oh, thank you for the follow. What was the name? It was like custom Limbus ID creator, I think. I don't remember. I feel a bit I feel a bit fucky with this skill 3 because it's basically just a combined version of the skill 2. So I think what I will do is instead of paralyzes a lot for a free thing. I think I keep the 3 power. Yeah, that's if we want to present it. I don't really plan on presenting it because that's a lot of work. And I'm lazy. I'm a bit torn with this one. I think I gotta change some stuff. I think I'm gonna come back to this one because I feel a little bit not really that and not really. Actually, no. I want to finish this. Skill 2 is fine because of her gimmick. Do I remove the I think I'm gonna do something risky here. Yeah, I'm gonna make this next turn. I think that solves the issue. It does. Sorry, this is just... I'll make this on head then. So, the big boom you get is the defense level down, the defense power down, and then the paralyze on the head. Liu Hong Lu is good. I mean, he's usable. But these are the IDs that we picked. These are the IDs that we considered the weakest out of each center. I think I order these around again. Hold on. I think I do this. Yes. And then I do this. There we go. Yeah, I was actually thinking, frick the defense level down. I'd rather just do damage. Make this like a really like boom. It's like a because I like the idea of it being a combination of these two skills in one, and then a big defense like damage down. Next turn. I think that's how we do this. These are turn ones. 4 is quite a lot. Yes, it is a head roll. It is LC. To be fair, it is LCCB Rodion. You have no idea how offensive and defensive level works. Every 3 offense level is about 3% extra damage. No, is it 3% extra? Every 3 offense level is 1 clash power up. And every offense level is about 3% damage, I think. Every defense level is about 3% defense, I believe. Or is it every 3 is 3? I think it's every 3 is 3 defense. No, every 2 offense level is 3%. Every 2 defense level is 3%. I am so tired right now, so to be fair, my brain is breaking. Every difference is 2. Yeah, I was right. Yeah, it was 2 or 3%. Okay. I'm gonna put pause on Rodion for now. Rodion. Dwight Sinclair. Fuck me, bro. I don't even know what I do for this guy. That's what I'm gonna put for now. Just use Y West for now. Just while I try and figure out how to fucking make Sinclair... What to do to fix Sinclair, dude. Oh my god, what do I even do for this guy? He has a Clash Lose gimmick alongside... Fucking Slush Veil. He gains protection. He's trying to do everything. The problem with Zwei Sinclair is that he is trying to do everything, which is very bad because it means he doesn't do good in one thing. So I think temporarily just use west, use Y west. Just temporarily use Y west. Two more fucking IDs and I'm so close to being tired. Did I miss Rodion? Yeah, here's what we did for Rodion. Deal 10% damage to enemies that use defensive skills. Combat start, enemy using a defensive, do an unopposed skill 2 once per turn. If enemy uses a defensive skill, +5 final power on skill 1. On hit, inflict 3 paralyze, same. Skill 2 is 6 + 3 coin power, inflict 2 bind on the first coin, 4 is the second coin is the same. Skill 3 swaps it now so that it does defensive power first, paralyze second, and then on head inflicts 4 damage down next turn. All next turn as well. So, big buff next turn. Zwei Sinclair, just use Weiss West. Like, normally I'm pretty good with narrowing down the gimmick of the character. Obviously, Zwei West in this case is a tank. So we would be leaning into the fact that he is a tank, an aggro tank. But it's very hard because the best way to play damage in this game is to do damage. But losing the clash kind of is bad. But unlike Slush Mail, Zwei South is not getting Unbreakable Coin. Yeah, we're gonna have to add... excuse me, guys. Oh, so sorry. I apologize. Give him defensive stance. Bro. Okay. Dude, who do I have left, bro? I can't even do it. There's no way I'm gonna have enough time for Otis, and might have to skip out on Otis and Gregor for today. Buff. God. Guys, I think we're gonna have to call it. I'm too tired. I'm starting to yawn too much now. I don't think I have been entertaining since the last like 20 minutes ago. But we're gonna have to stop. And that means we're gonna be stopping here. I think just like in the normal game, Otis and Gregor are gonna be forgotten. And the final message is just use Y West Sinclair. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm far too EP right now to actually think with cohesive thoughts and be entertaining. So we are gonna have to stop for now. Tomorrow we will not be doing this. Tomorrow we're actually going to be preparing for Railway 5. Either be squid. We are live every day. You can join the Discord in the description in case you want to be updated on anything we do. Thank you all for being here. I'm glad to have you all here. As a note, reminder that all of this is simply for fun and is my opinion. I like every ID in the game and I think they all have a use case. Anything said here is just a suggestion and nothing more than a means to make entertainment. Please do not flame me on Project Moon Reddit. Okay, alright, that's gonna be it guys. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye.